And okay. Monitor capture. Boom. There we go. Alright, once again, guys, because this is going on YouTube, I'm gonna make it such that it is kind of like a YouTube video, yeah? Kind of like a YouTube video. Yes. Good. So that's that. I think we're good. You guys in chat can also put, like, you know, say in chat every time a new card comes out, 1 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, or whatnot. And yeah, we can do whatever you want. You can mention some points that I failed to mention as well, stuff like that, so I can actually see it and I can you know, do something with it. But yeah, anyways, let's start, okay? Welcome, guys, to the fifth Whispers of the Old Gods review by Amaz. That's me. How good are the new cards? And April 12th was my birthday, so that was awesome. So let's go ahead and review the Amaz scoring scale again. There you go, 0 out of 10. We're gonna rate 1 for Arena. We're gonna rate 1 for Constructed, and Constructed is only Standard. We're not talking about Wild, because Wild is pretty much Arena. So yeah, we have 13 new cards to talk about. And we'll see which ones are the Craigasms and which ones are the Failfishes. So let's do ahead and go. The first one, we have the Druid card. And of course, Blizzard being super creative, we have Wisps of the Old Gods. I haven't seen this card before. Let's see what it does. 7 mana. Choose one, summon 7 1/1 Wisps. So the whole board. Or give your minions +2/+2, which is very, very similar to what we saw before. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome is already not really used in Constructed, right? It's like a very conditional Stormwind champion that you can't play by itself, right? Stormwind champion is not even seen play. So, very, very awkward. And the fact that the versatility of this card comes in the fact that you could play on the board to summon 7 1/1 Wisps doesn't really make this card suddenly good. Does that make sense? Because, like, 7 1/1 Wisps is... Why would you want to play that? Why would you want to do that instead of, like, you know, your Ancient of Lores or your other 7 drops, you know? So I'd say this is pretty bad in Constructed. I would probably not play this. I would give this a 1 out of 10 because, well, I guess in some classes, like against some classes that don't have AoE for some weird reason, you could Savage Roar after this, but god, this is bad. You are not going to play this. Even in like a Beast Druid, right? You would not play this. Just no, right? It's a win more card as well. It's a lose more card. It's a win more card. It's a lose more card. So that both of those situations are pretty bad. In Arena is actually not bad. In Arena you would pick Everything is Awesome quite often because it is a win condition. And in Arena you do want win conditions. Minions tend to stick more on the board because sometimes people want to go face. You know, this is just fine in Arena. And the fact that 7/1/1 Wisp actually comes up more often than not makes me want to pick this quite a bit. So yeah, I would not mind this in Arena. I would actually pick this pretty highly. So yeah, not a bad card. It's epic, so you're not gonna see it too much. Anyways, onwards to the next card. We have the Priest card. Embrace the Shadow. I mean, look at the art. The art looks really, really nice. And then you look at the card text, and damn, that kind of sucks. So you basically have the Alkanite power for that turn only without getting the minion, which is kind of weird, right? Because if you look at Alkanite Soul Priest, it's a 4 mana 3/5. So you would say that that effect, the effect text that Alkanite has, is kind of worth like 1 mana or even half a mana or something like that. Because Spider Tank is 3 mana 3/4, right? So if Alkanite is a 4 mana 3/5, you're getting 1 extra health, and you're getting the extra effect for the cost of 1 mana. But this is 2 mana, and this is a card that doesn't produce a minion. So in that case, I think this is just horrendous. Like, why would you ever want to play this? You might play it in a Valen combo deck, for example, right? You play this along with your Emperor Thorazon, and then after the proc of the discount, you go like Valen, Embrace the Shadow, Flash Heal, Mind Blast, and whatnot. But then you think about it for a second and go like, wow, Embrace the Shadow really only helps Mind Blast. I mean, only really helps Flash Heal, and that's it, right? Or maybe your Light of the Naru or something like that. And Light of the Naru is getting rotated out anyways. So you go like, what? And then you go like, maybe I should play Shadow Bomber instead. You know? It's weird. So I would say this is a really bad card. You would not want to play this. I don't even know why I give it a 1. It's probably going to be a 0. Just like, this effect is just not worth the card slot. Right? Sure, you can do some funky stuff with play this at turn 2 and this Circle of Healing. But do you really need to Arcanine Circle something at turn 2? No. And do you really want to lose the Arcanine value? Like, Arcanine Circle, you still get a 3-1. This, you don't get anything else. And it's a 2-card Flame Strike. That's not what Priest is. That's really bad. In Arena, this is definitely unplayable. Like, just... Ugh. You're not playing a card that does nothing, okay? No. No. -1 even. Just do not pick this. Oh, man. Priest getting wrecked by epics again. All the epics in Priest kind of suck, right? Shadow Bomber, Confuse, Embrace the Shadow. Oh, just... Nope. Nope. At least it's thematic, right? All the Priest epics are just trashed here. Thistletea is going to be the new rogue card. It is a 6-mana card, draw a card, and then you duplicate it. Basically, this mage duplicated. So you get 3 total copies of that one card. Very interesting is that when you play this, your opponent knows what those copies are when you play any of those copies because they can track their hand. And another interesting part is that you only draw 1 card from your deck. So it's a little bit better against like very long games, such as Warriors, for example, where you fatigue a little bit less. Now the downsides, right? The downsides is you get 3 of the same card, right? That's actually pretty awkward. If you get 3 backstabs, you're gonna feel really stupid. If you get 3 sprints, you're gonna also feel really stupid. You have to actually draw a valuable card. So something like, well, not Dr. Boom because it's getting rotated out, right? So if you draw something like, I don't know, like a Tomb Pillager, you'll be fine. If you draw like a, you can't even draw Belcher, right? Just if you draw like a value minion, you'll be fine. But if you draw like something that's really, really big, like the sprint, for example, you're not going to cast 3 sprints in the game. You're going to feel pretty dumb. Eviscerate is also fine, I guess. But the fact that when you compare this to sprint, right? Sprint is so much better because you actually get to cycle through your cards and you know those are good cards. Thistletea doesn't really accomplish that. Sure, you still draw a card from your deck technically, but you're not getting the variety you want. And rogues do want the variety. They want to like weave in combos. They want to put minions and remove stuff. And if you swing too high against like one certain point, it's like not that good, right? Too many minions and you're kind of pinning a bad mid-range deck. And too many spells, then well, you're just gonna keep on trading 1 for 1. You really need the right balance. So I would say this is not really too good. It's like if you just evaluate the card as a whole as just a card advantage, is a bad nourish, I guess. So even then, that's not really good. So like every single angle you look at this card, I feel like it's pretty bad. So then the last argument you could put would be what would be Milrogue, right? Milrogue, that's it. And Milrogue doesn't even want this. I don't think so. Gang Up is just so much more consistent, and yeah, you're still drawing a card for Milrogue. I just don't like it. Not really that much. In Arena, oh whoops, that's the wrong button. In Arena, it's fine. I mean, it's just a draw 3, and you would play draw 3s in Arena. It's actually pretty decent. Arcane Intellect is a very high pick, so this is fine. You're paying a little bit more, so the rating reflects that. It's not as efficient as like your Nourish and whatnot. So not too bad, but not too good either. You'll be okay with this card. Next we have Call the Wild. Oh man, Smork. Smork is finally getting a different kind of card, and it's actually very, very powerful. For 8 mana, you get a Huffer first, and then you get a Leok, and then you get a Misha if you still have board space, and you do get those in that order. And it costs 8 mana in 1 card, and that is really, really good. Why is that? Because, well, first of all, you're paying 3 mana for Animal Companion usually. This is not 9 mana when you add them up. And usually when you add stuff up, they cost more mana, right? They just do. And this doesn't, which is insane. Yeah, this is just really good for mid-range. Now the question is, do you want to play mid-range Hunter, right? This is obviously an insane card. But the price to pay for playing this card is you play Mid-Range Hunter. We know that Mad Scientist is getting removed from the card set rotation. So Mid-Range Hunter needs a little bit more help. You're just not gonna do it with just like King's Elect or something like that, right? So based on, well, we don't know the whole set yet. We're still gonna give this a high rating just because this card as a whole, as in a vacuum with nothing else, is really really good, right? You're getting a lot of stats, and you also get a charge immediately. You also get to affect your board immediately. When you play anti-board, you get a taunt. When you're dying, you get a taunt. Like this, everything in this card is just speaks good, right? Very versatile. So I would probably play this in Mid-Range Hunter and dish the Ragnar. Ragnaros is always that Mid-Range Hunter card where you go like, I mean it's okay, it's not that good. You would still play. You would kind of still want to play it, but not really. But this card is just amazing. And also the threat of this card on turn 8 actually makes your opponent plays really weirdly, right? They have to remove your whole board. Otherwise, the Huffer plus Leok combo might just kill them. Right? Even with like 1 minion. With 1 minion, you play this, you're getting 6 damage to the face. Huffer deals 5, Leok buffs the other minion by 1 attack. So this is already deals 6 to the face, which is very relevant. In Arena, this is just hands down, you auto pick this. You get too many stats with it. Just too much value. You also get the instantaneous effect with charge. It's just too good. 8 mana, deal 5 damage to summon a Leok and Huffer. Seems perfectly fine to me. So yeah, you auto pick this. You just pick this. This is so good. Too good. Alright, onwards to we have Echo of Garrosh. Echo of Garrosh. What is this? It is a 3 mana draw card. It's 3 mana draw cards. But it only works on your damaged minions. Only works on your damaged minions. So, well, I don't know. Because Echo of Medivh is already not seen in regular mages, not even in mid-range mages. It's very janky. And, yeah, for them to be damaged on top of it, it's really, really hard to accomplish that. The only legit way to actually accomplish this would be like Patron Warrior, right? After you do some whirlwinds or something like that. But like, you don't want more patrons in a patron deck. This is only good, I think, in one matchup. It is the Warrior versus Warrior matchup where you actually want to draw cards, but draw cards outside of your deck, right? So it is not bad in that matchup. But that's about it. Otherwise, you don't really mind drawing your own cards, and you kind of want to, right? So based on that one matchup thing, we're gonna give this a 1 to 10. It's just not good enough. At least already accomplishes that fact where you're kind of trying to get a win condition outside the fact of your own deck. You want to rely on like outside sources or just modify control matchups really really wildly while not screwing yourself over. This is very very hard to pull off, very conditional. In Arena it's also very conditional. It's a little bit better because it's still a draw card effect. It's like a Arcane Intellect, right? If you manage to draw 2 cards, it's fine. If you manage to draw 1 card off of a big creature, it's okay. It's kind of like a convert actually, but like even then it's just kind of bad. So very very conditional. Everything conditional combined together, it's just really bad. So I'd say this is a 2 out of 10. Alright, onwards to the Warlock cards. And oh man, Warlock cards is gonna get we reviewed 3 new cards for Warlock. So this is like Warlock's happy day. If you're a Warlock player, then you'll be pretty happy. But first, we got Duh. By the way, this card's name is Doug because he says Doug when he comes through. I actually don't know what the sound of this is, but man, they better make this card sound really, really cool. They should just bring me in, and I would voice Doug immediately, okay? If anybody's name is Doug, then I'm not insulting you. This is really... You're a good card. You're actually not bad. Well, bad in the sense that you're in Warlock because there's how many other 1-drops? There's Voidwalker and Flame Imp. Those are already premium 1-drops, right? That you don't really want to play. So in a sense, this card actually nerfs Dark Peddler because you're gonna see this card more often now than your Mortal Coils, than your Soulfires. So even if you're not gonna play this in your deck, your Dark Peddler is gonna get nerfed. Now, where would you want to play this deck in? Zoo is not that good with this one because it's a 1 attack creature. It's so slow, And the fact that it's just a 1/1, a Death Rattle, kind of makes me feel like this is the Argent Squire. And yeah, like why is this better than Argent Squire? I can't really tell. Well, fine, you can. It's more of, it's more durable against board wipes, right? For example, if they wipe your board, you still get a 1/1 afterwards. But the body itself is not like commanding enough, like Argent Squire, right, to actually scare people, I guess, right? You could actually play this in a Hobgoblin deck though, right? So that's pretty relevant. Hobgoblin into, but then Hobgoblin is GVG, right? So that's kind of awkward. You can only play this in Wild. But you can, I guess, if Hobgoblin is not not a card you can play in Constructed, then maybe the Reliquary Seeker, right? Because the creepers and the eggs are gone. Reliquary Seeker is going to be super hard to pull off. Even Implosion is going to go away. So very, very hard to pull off. So based on all those assessments, we're going to give this a 3 out of 10. It's basically another Argent Squire that might help Reliquary Seeker a little bit. That might help your Death Rattle deck a little bit, but no, just not really. In Arena, it's fine. It's Argent Squire. You will pick Argent Squire sometimes, right? It's like your tier 2 one drops. Tier 1 one drops being like your Abusive Sergeants, your Infiltrators, your Clockwork Gnomes. You know, those are tier 1. This is a tier 2 card. So, you know, you're okay with it sometimes. Alright. Next Warlock card, we have Spreading Madness. You see that it's a 3 mana spell that deals 9 damage split randomly across all characters. We will call this Maddest Bomber. Is it Madness Bomber, right? Mad Bomber dealing 3 damage, Mad Bomber dealing 6 damage. This deals 9 damage without the body, of course. So why would this be good? Well, obviously you just want to remove your opponent's minions. So if you're playing against like Zoo or something, then this is not bad. If you're playing with Molten Giants, you can sometimes ping yourself, and that's not bad. But otherwise, this is very, very janky. It's still really weird. Not like a card that you immediately go like, wow, I am going to play this in this deck immediately, and this is going to be awesome. You have to like be cutesy with this. You just have to be very cutesy with this, right? You already have Hellfire. That's a little bit more consistent when you want to play against Zoo type of decks. Shadow Flame is even better against control decks. This is like really, really good. And with Paladins losing Minibot and Muster as well, this is just even worse. Like Demon Wrath is also good. Like Demon Wrath is completely fine. Why won't you run that instead? So yeah, just we already have better cards for this type of effect. So 2 out of 10. In Arena, tad bit better, I guess, because you always want to prioritize Arena. Prioritize AoE in Arena, I mean. But the fact that you actually can't really play this, but even you have 1 minion, makes me kind of wonder if this is what you want to pick on the rare slot. There's so many better rares. And of course, you still have your Implosions and whatnot in Arena. So this actually might be unplayable sometimes in your hand. And when it's played, sometimes you just can't kill that 6/6. Sometimes you can't kill that 4/5. Yeah, it's very hard to kill Yeti with this card too, right? So not that good. All right, and the final Warlock card is actually a legendary. Cho'Gao, 7 mana, 7/7. It's a Doctor. Oh, it's a War Golem, I guess. It's a War Golem with Battlecry. The next spell you cast this turn costs health instead of mana. So basically, you're casting Cho'Gao and effectively getting a free spell, which is its Battlecry. So Cho'Gao might be a Battlecry Siphon Soul. Cho'Gao might be a Battlecry Shadow Flame. Cho'Gao might even be a Battlecry Twisting Nether. But if you're doing it on Twisting Nether, or you're doing it on Doom, for example, you're actually Pyroblasting yourself-ish. And that is not really too decent. I mean, you could do something really crazy, like Cho'Gao, and then Twisting Nether, and then Molten Sun Fury, for example. Like, something stupid like that could happen. But you're usually going to cast this on something that's a little bit more stable, right? So something like Cho'Gao into Soulfire, for example, could be fine at turn 7. Cho'Gao into Hellfire, that seems fine. Cho'Gao into Siphon Soul seems to be the most, the one that pops up the most. You could actually do it on Bane of Doom as well. That seems okay. But like that's the extent of all the possibilities, right? Like this text is really strong on some things, right? If it's not Warlock, if you have like I don't know. Maybe even like a some deck that needs card draw, right? Or even like priest. Obviously, this insane. A priest Cho'Gall into Entomb or Cho'Gall into Mind Control, something like that. That'll be insane. But because it's Warlock and you have limited spells that you really want to cast like this, we're just gonna give this a 6 out of 10. The effect is strong, but it's probably the weakest in the Warlock class, right? And sometimes the backfire is kind of real with Twisting Nether and stuff like that. So not too insane. If you Cho'Gall into Siphon Soul, you're kind of getting a 1 mana 7/7, and the 1 mana 7/7 isn't insane at turn 7, right? We already see that in Sea Giant, and people already have answers to Sea Giant by turn 7. If you play in turn 1, obviously it's insane, but it's not a turn 1 play. It's a turn 7 play that's like the 1 mana 7/7 at best, so not too insane. In Arena, it's a little bit better because you would pick a 7/7 anyways, and if you actually get to ramboozle people out of their board with the battle cry, it's insane, right? Battle cry, you can dark bomb something, you can battle cry implosion something, and you just pretty much win the game by then. So very, very good in Arena. I would definitely pick this in Arena with no hesitation. And this, of course, does not work with Brian. All right, next up we have the neutral cards. All right, the first neutral card we have is Twilight Summoner, an epic card. 4 mana, 1/1, Death Rattle. You summon a 5/5 faceless destroyer. It has to be destroyer, man. In constructed, this is so weird because when you compare this to Nerubian Egg, you kind of know that wow, they really messed up with Nerubian Egg, didn't they? Nerubian Egg is so much better than this, like so much overstated that you go like, damn, Nax was a really powerful set. And with Nax gone, does Death Rattle creature sets want to play this, for example? And the answer to that is probably no. It's a 1/1. It's so slow, and like usually you want to play this card and you kind of want to suicide it to get a 5/5. So you play a 4 mana 5/5. That's kind of okay, but you have to suicide it, so it comes one turn after. So at the same, you're kind of playing a 5 mana 5/5, I guess, and you're also like not threatening the board as well. You're giving your opponent so much options that this is just not good enough. They can just ignore it, right? And they're usually gonna ignore it most of the times. And how do we abuse this? Well, we could abuse this in Zoo maybe for a more sticky board. We can abuse this in Raptor Rogue, for example. But yeah, other than that, that's the extent to it, and you're gonna feel really stupid when you play a 4 mana 1/1. So we're not gonna play this really high, 3 out of 10. It like getting Cabal Whips feels stupid. Just like there's a lot of cards that would make you feel very stupid when you play this. In Arena, it's a little bit better. I mean, it's an egg. It's an Nerubian Egg that you don't need activators on. So sure, you would pay 2 more mana for that. And sometimes you do want the 1/1 because you have your Dark Iron Dwarves, you have your Shards and Clerics. So the fact that it's a 1/1 body is actually not too irrelevant in Arena. But once again, it's a little bit slow as well for me to like. You just pick your Yetis instead, like a 4/5 instead. Like if you just evaluate this card as like add the stats and mana, add their attacks and health, this is actually a 4 mana 6/6. So in that case, it's pretty strong. So if you can actually abuse the first portion of this body, then the second body is gonna reward you even more, right? So in Arena is a little bit better. All right, we have, oh my god, that is the definition of what face. Look at, you do not want to go anywhere close to this. That's just, look at that tongue. God damn it. 9 mana 9/9, Blood of the Ancient One. If you control 2 of these at the end of your turn, you merge them into the Ancient One. And what is the Ancient One? It is, oh my god, that is a Craigasm. By the way, do you see this little black dot here? That's Deathwing. So as you can see, this guy is huge. Oh my god, he's huge. So yeah, there you go. This card is gonna be so cheesy, right? I mean, it's not playable constructed. Let me just. You're not paying 9 mana to do nothing, right? It's just 2 more health than Kraken, and Kraken does something. And it's not even seeing play in constructed, so you're not playing this in constructed. It's just not happening. When you have a 9/9, if you have a 9 mana 9/9 that survives at the end of the first time you play it, you probably already win. So yeah, you probably already win. You get what I mean? You don't need a 30-30. The 30-30 is insane though. You get what I mean? The 30-30 is nuts. It's not leaving the board. Alright? People always say like, oh, he's gonna get assassinated or whatnot. No, 30-30s are not leaving the board because they usually have to use their removal early on. Right? And yeah, this is not leaving the board. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. We still don't know about BGH, whether it's gonna get nerfed or not, so we can't tell. In arena, it's fine. This card is fine because it's a 9 mana 9/9. Like you will pick it. You will obviously pick Kraken over this because Kraken is like possibly like a 9 or 10 out of 10 in arena. But you still play this, right? You still play 8 mana 8/8s, Fossilized Devil's Sword in arena, and this is a fine pick. Like you need a win condition, you pick this. And of course, this card is the fun factor is 9 out of 9, right? I'm pretty sure everybody would try and do this and be on a Trollden video or something, right? You want to play this, you want to conceal them and whatnot. Yeah, that's just a thing. All right, next card we have is a legendary Solgoth the Slitherer. 5 mana 5/9 taunt that has a fairy dragon effect, right? It can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. And he has a big beard. So, you have to think about this and you go like, wow, you're actually paying a lot of stats for this card text, right? You're paying about a good battle cry, right? You're comparing this to Mal'Ganis, you have your Alexstrasza's, you have your Nefarians, and you go like, wow, this is kind of underwhelming. Sure, like, the taunt, the what's it called? The hexproof taunt is kind of interesting, but what decks are you beating with this card? You get what I mean? Like, what decks are you actually want to put this card in? Maybe like Zoo, but they have Power Overwhelming to plow through this anyways. You want to play this as a control deck? Well, you're playing a 5/9 in a control deck that costs 9 mana. That is definitely not that good. And so the only option is mid-range, and I guess mid-range is pretty good. I mean, you could play this against Hunter, but by turn 9 you're pretty much dead anyways against mid-range Hunter. If you're playing against Druid, well, it's cool if they don't nerf combo because it's 9 health, but just no. I don't want to be have no immediate effect for 9 mana. So I would rate this a 2 out of 10. Just not that good, really. It's really hard to remove, I guess, from spell minions, from means of spells. But like, people don't remember that the best way to remove a minion from the board is from minions, right? Minions kill minions the best. And yeah, this card text is just not exciting me. In arena, it's fine. It's just a big fat dummy, right? You would play big fat dummy sometimes. You wouldn't need win conditions. And this card actually protects your other cards pretty well. You can also place it to kind of avoid, like, you know, your betrayals and your cocks and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. But it's nowhere near the other legendary pirate levels. So 4 out of 10. All right, and the final, well, not the final card, second final card. Oh baby, Deathwing is back, and he looks a little bit more. Well, he's posing obviously, so he's definitely a poser. His tail is also in the picture, which is really cool. But you have Deathwing Dragonlord. It's a 10 mana 12/12, which is huge, right? It's huge. Look at that. It's a big body. And when it dies, you put all dragons from your hand into the battlefield. Wow. That's really, really cool, huh? You play a dragon deck, you play a 10 mana 12/12, they BGH it, and you go like, I have an 8/8, I have a 4/12, and I have a 2/6, and I have a 4/4. Your turn, right? That's pretty cool. The weaknesses of this card, there is a little bit of weaknesses, right? The fact that the dragons that you play don't have their battle cries coming into the battlefield is a weakness. You also have the weakness of maybe this doesn't proc anything because you're curving out anyways. But I say this is a pretty good card though for dragons. Like, it's a win condition, and it's a win condition that actually kind of works against your board wipes and your BGHs and stuff like that. So I would rate this pretty high. This card is pretty promising. It's definitely a little bit better than the other Deathwing in Dragon decks because it doesn't discard your hand, and like, Dragon decks actually want their cards, right? So yeah, very very cool, very very interesting. I would want to play this. Like who doesn't want to play a badass dragon with an insane effect? In arena, wow, in arena is so good, right? You only need to practice once, but the fact that this being a 10 mana 12/12 is just insane. You would play a 10 mana 12/12 in arena, definitely with no text. This has a text, and if it actually even works on one creature, then it's like it's just auto pick, right? So very very good. All right, and now we have the final card. Oh my god, that has those two guys are going like no. You see these two guys here? Yogg-Saron is a 10 mana card. Hope's End. Battle cry. Cast a random spell for each spell you've cast this game. Targets chosen randomly. Someone made a Yogg-Saron simulator, right? Someone made a Yogg-Saron simulator on like what's gonna happen. So let's pull that up right now. So let's go here. Summon Yogg-Saron, 10 spells. I got give a minion +2/+2. Keep in mind that this could target itself, right? And this could also target enemy creatures. So we're gonna give someone 2/+2/+2. We're gonna make someone a sheep, deal 3 damage to everything, and then we're gonna give 3 copies of something. We're gonna starfall our opponent's stuff, maybe starfall one of our own minions. We are dealing 2 damage to random stuff, whirlwinding everything, and then brawl, so everything kind of dies. Moonfire something, and then fireball something. That's pretty bad, right? This is pretty bad. Let's try it again. Oh, look at that! This is like this is so good, so planned. I didn't plan this, by the way. This is RNG, but as you can see, drawing 2 cards, very nice. We'll draw 2 cards. This shape thing, whatever. Holy Nova is always gonna be good, right? Always deal 2 damage and restore 2 health to all minions. You get a secret. You get to take a minion. Your hero part becomes deal 2 damage. Okay, someone gets pinged for 4. This does nothing. Hand of Protection. Oh, someone gets Divine Shield, and this one of your creatures dies horribly at the end of the turn. But what I'm trying to say is that this thing, right? There are a lot of effects that draw cards. So when you summon Yogg-Saron, you're pretty much gonna get some cards no matter what, right? Like, you're gonna get some cards. Mind Vision is getting you cards. Raven Idol's getting you cards. You're getting a lot of secrets sometimes, which is really cool. So all in all, it's fine, right? It's another win condition for spells that cast a lot of cards. And what's a class that costs a lot of spells? Well, Rogue, right? Miracle Rogue in a sense. You got your coins. You got your you got the new legendary that puts spare parts into your hand. You got your what's it called? Tomb Pillagers, because coin is a spell as well. So yeah, it's just another win condition. Might be a little bit more fun than practical. So let's give this a 5 out of 10. But the fact that you can always draw cards of this makes it pretty nice. And there are a lot of one-sided effects, right? So like Consecration, Holy Nova, stuff like that. It's fine. In Arena, it's actually better than expected. Obviously, it depends on the number of spells. If you have no spells, then this is obviously unplayable. But once again, the fact that you can actually draw cards from this card makes me kind of want to think of this as lay on hands, right? You're just naturally gonna play this, and you might just steamroll the board. And if you're in a winning situation, you don't even need to play this. If you're in a losing situation, you might just kill all your opponent's guys and just reset the board or something like that. So this is actually really good. If you think about that, you do need to draft more spells for this to make sense. It's kind of like the N'Zoth for the Death Rattle creatures. If you have no Death Rattle creatures, N'Zoth is kind of bad. But yep, same thing. Get a lot of spells in the arena. This is a good pick. So there you go, guys. That will be the 5th review. What we want to say before we go is 2 things. First of all, there is a vote for Whispers of the Old Gods that I have that's going on right now. So if you again, you can click the link below the description to go for it. But you want to vote for me? I have this really good shade. Look at him; he's so buff. Why would you not want to see a buff creature over this? Look! I don't know what I'm doing. Versus Uh, uh, it's a rogue card probably. It's like I'm trying to be. I have a lightning sword versus hug me. You know, come on. You have to pick the buff shade. So vote for this, and there's gonna be a video as soon as this vote goes through, and we're gonna put it on YouTube. We're gonna analyze the card and whatnot. And of course, the other one would be that hopefully Whispers comes soon, but there's still half the set remaining, I believe. Let me just double check here really quickly. We have 61 cards revealed out of 134. So we actually still have halfway to go. And when all the cards are revealed, we're gonna do one more final set review with some of our friends. You know, maybe get Amnesiac or something like that, and we're gonna rate the whole set again because some early ratings might be bad because we haven't seen the whole set before.